अनियन। अब इसमें डालेंगे हम थोड़ा ग्रीन अनियंस, सौटे, सोया सॉस, सेसमे ऑयल। इसके अंदर थोड़ी सी रेड चिली भी डालते हैं। अब इसके अंदर हम डालेंगे ये जो भीगे हुए बासमती राइस, साथ ही साथ थोड़ा सा नमक और थोड़ा और पानी। And I'll just swirl the pan. इसको अब हम ढक देंगे, हल्के आंच पर रखेंगे। इतनी देर में हमारा जो चिकन है दैट इज रेडी। अब इसका जो फ्लेवरफुल जूस है, जो इसका स्टू है, ये इसके ऊपर हम पोर करेंगे। राइस अभी भी आंच पर है और आई थिंक इट्स रेडी। सो अंटू, पानी नहीं बचा और चावल बिल्कुल खिला हुआ है। Heni's chicken rice is ready.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very good morning to all of you. On this day today at 11 o'clock, we have a session of Chef Kunal Kapoor today, and I hope all of you are looking forward to have a session. We're just awaiting for him to join in about 1 minute, and we will be good to go. Well, just to let you know before he joins in that it's very important and imperative that all of us make sure that we use digital media and we make sure that we open our books and make sessions and record sessions and take notes of these sessions. Please understand, this is a part of your culinary lecture. This is a part of your food production class, which is introduction on Indian cuisine. So this is a class. It is not a general session. So all of you are advised to kindly take your notebooks and take your sessions, record your notes, and of course, make sure that you have your questions ready. Possibly towards the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we'll try to take as much questions as possible. We will open the chat box as well for all of you to record. But yes, what's important is that we also do the use of social media and of course do a lot of Facebook, a lot of tweeting. Thanking Chef Kunal for coming in, click pictures while he's taking the session, and after that we need to tweet as well, because that is what digital penetration is all about, that is what social media is all about, and that is how we need to build our CV. Nowadays the CV is built through the social media, and your social media handles are your representation of who you are. So in a nutshell, if you want people to know you as intellectual, as people who are studying hospitality, then I think you should start posting things on your social media handle, on your social media pages related to what you want people to know you about. So start getting more information about, hospitality industry, the positive part of hospitality industry, and of course the new things that are happening in the industry, and start posting it on your social media, start posting it on Twitter. I think we always as a college promote the use of Twitter. We always as a college promote the use of social media, and I think that is what is important as you grow. All right, I can see Chef Kunal. 1 second. Bear with me for a second. I'm just tracking Chef Kunal. I can't find him here. Just bear with me for a second, guys. I'm trying to track Chef Kunal, who've joined us today. Bear with me for a second. So Chef Kunal will be joining in, and we're just tracking his ID. I can't track the ID, so I'm just in WhatsApp with chef, and bear with me for a second. Okay, so I think we'll be joining in. He'll be joining in another minute. So I was sharing about the importance of social media. I was sharing the importance of your visibility on the digital platform. So as students, I think you should be very visible on the digital platform, like LinkedIn as well. A lot of you have already made your LinkedIn accounts, and the ones who have not are advised to kindly make your LinkedIn accounts, because eventually, your social visibility is very, very important. All right, bear with me for a second. While I just coordinate, what we're going to do is we're going to just run a small video of Chef Kunal. One moment, bear with me for a second. We're having some technical difficulties out here, and so this was an easy recipe that I have for you guys, which I'm playing for Chef Kunal, and bear with me for a second. I'll just play that for you, and meanwhile, I'll just try to track Chef Kunal as well. There you go, watch this, and I'll be right back.
सबसे पहले we will prepare भट्टी का मसाला. Let me get a pan first. सबसे पहले धनिया, मोटी इलायची, थोड़ी सी काली मिर्च, थोड़ी सी लौंग, अनारदाना, खूब सारा, थोड़ी सी दालचीनी, शाही जीरा, और इसके अंदर थोड़ा सा रेगुलर जीरा. ऑलराइट, थोड़ा सा सूख गया ये. अब इसे हम पीसेंगे. Alright, हमारा जो भट्टी का मसाला, this is ready. I've got some chicken breast. You can use chicken leg, on the bone, whichever. इसके हम थोड़े thick chunks काटेंगे.
Okay, bear with me for a second. Okay, 1 second. Let me just coordinate. Chef Kunal has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. While I 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Chef Kunal with us, and before we get him here, it's our absolute pleasure to have Chef Kunal Kapoor with us. He will be taking a session and an introduction on Indian cuisine, and as I said, this is your class. This is where you will be taking, this is your culinary session, first session that is happening by Chef Kunal Kapoor. Now, let me share a few things about him before he comes in. He's a judge he was a judge for the Master Chef India and have hosted the show. He started his career in the year 2000 in Taj Hotels. 2008, he was rated as the best Indian chef in Delhi by India Today. He has cooked for our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, and German Chancellor, Miss Merkel in Bangalore. He has also opened his restaurant that has won the Best Restaurant Award, and the few television shows that he has done is Master Chef India, Master Chef America, Pickle Nation, Thalis of India, My Yellow Table, Curries of India, Foodie Comes to America, and the list goes on. He's won many, many awards, and today he's here to take a session for you. Chef Kunal Kapoor is here with us, and before we go on to Chef Kunal, I've got my directors from other campuses to welcome him, and before I go to them, Chef Kunal, Dr. Bose conveys his regards and love to you. He's currently in flight, so he could not be present here to welcome you, but he's flying from Hyderabad to Calcutta today. Signs of normalcy, as we say. And before we go to you, quickly, can I have all our directors to welcome you? Over to the directors, please.
Abdullah, I take the lead. A very good morning to you, and definitely a big welcome to Chef Kunal Kapoor. It is such a great, of course, again, another moment where we go ahead and welcome him. We have done so, all these years, of course, welcoming him to our campuses where he has come. He has spoken to our students. He has done so many such classes for us, and definitely the students have been able to connect with him so well. But this is the very first time our students are able to meet him online, and I'm very certain that from our end that it will be a great spectacular session, and there would be a lot of learning for each one of you, all of you students, as we address Chef Kunal Kapoor here. So welcome, Chef, and wonderful to see you here today.
Thank you. Good morning, Chef. This is Debashish Ghosh from Director of IHM Ahmedabad. It's wonderful to have you on our show. Good morning to everyone. And I'm sure the students who are going to be meeting you for the first time, these first year students, they are going to be very, very, very excited, and like us, of course. And we are waiting, to see what you have to offer. Thank you so much for coming, Chef. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Namaste, Chef. First of all, let me first say, Chef, I'm a big fan. So let me start from there. My name is Samir. I head the campus in Goa, and very honestly speaking, Chef, a lot of my first years, they're all very prone, not just prone, they enjoy cooking. Talking about my campus specifically, Chef. So when my students turn around and they say that Chef Kunal Kapoor is coming, the excitement in their voice, the excitement in their being, the entire being is so great. It is so lovely to have you personally speaking to them, Chef. I think it's going to be a fantastic session. And kids, I really hope you learn a lot from the legend here. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
All right, Chef, over to you. Our students are looking forward to take this session from you. Over to you, Chef.
Brilliant. First of all, good morning, guys. And congratulations, you've joined hotel management. Welcome to my family, if I can say that, or the bigger family, if I include IHM and everybody who just spoke. It's a brilliant course, and a lot of people post you've done your hotel management, especially after your first year, will have a certain thought about that. This is what hotel management is. You may want to change, you may want to get from one department to the other, but let me tell you, once you complete your course, you will be a person who is much more confident than what you already are right now. There will be a great deal of improvement in terms of how you communicate, how articulate you are. Your overall personality is what will shine through. And specifically talking about today's topic, it's broadly, we're putting it as Indian food. It's impossible to finish off or talk about Indian food in this session. So I'm picking up one aspect of Indian food, which I'm sure if you're a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, you all love. It is called kebabs. And if you enjoy eating kebabs, then you can just raise your hand so I know. Couple of screens I can. Yeah. Shivya says yes. Ritu Priya says yes. Sirinjoy Chandra doesn't want to respond to this. See, I'm watching you guys. Yeah. Durva Bhattacharya says, and Rahul Ale is laughing away. I think he raises his hand. Sai Kumar IHM Hyderabad, Bangalore Mein Tenzin, Darshan, Goa, Vivek from Hyderabad, and the list goes on. So most of you have raised your hands. So we all enjoy kebabs, guys. Now, I would want this to be a very interactive session, right? Because you will learn extensively about how to cook in your practical classes, but I don't want to bore you with a very in-depth theory. I would want inputs because everybody has something or else to contribute, and this is a better way of learning is what I personally feel. So I would want to ask that who amongst you can tell me, where did kebabs start from? We associate kebabs with Indian food. Is it an Indian food or an Indian invention? Who wants to say? Just go ahead first. Okay, raise your hands. I will just tell you, I'll just swipe through and say Raise your hands who wants to say. Even if it's a wrong answer, it's perfectly fine. Like I just said, this is all a part of polishing your communication skills, making you more confident, making you a lot more open about things. Even if it's a wrong answer, it doesn't matter. Anybody? Yes. Okay. IHM for
Pakistan.
You mute him. 1 second. You could unmute yourself.
Sir, Lucknow.
Sir, it's
Lucknow, sir.
from the Mughals. From the Mughals.
Middle East. Middle East.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Uttarakhand.
Lucknow, sir.
Middle East. Middle East.
Kerala, sir, Kerala. I'm a big fan of
Lucknow, sir. Lucknow.
One
No,
second,
no. Lucknow. Oh.
Lucknow. Sir, you are mute.
Lucknow.
Turkey.
Chef, unmute yourself, please. Yeah.
sorry, I got the answers, which was Pakistan, Lucknow, Uttarakhand, Middle East, Turkey, somebody said. So anything that has got to do with Indian subcontinent is a wrong answer. Kebab, पहली दफा जब शुरू हुए थे, they started with the first civilization, the oldest civilization in the world. That is the Babylonian civilization, which is modern day parts of Iraq, Syria, Turkey, and that area. वहां पर जो Mesopotamian civilization है, Babylonian हम जैसे बोलते हैं, वहां पर were the first proper civilization that started making kebabs. And from there, kebabs went across the world. You'll be surprised that kebabs is not just synonymous with Indian food. There are different names. China के अंदर kebabs मिलते हैं. The entire Latin America does kebabs. They call it pinchotos. They don't call it kebabs. They call it pinchotos. Similarly, Spanish and French. French में brochettes होते हैं. अभी आप ना, when you'll start your curriculum, especially when you go to your practicals and more in-depth theory, you'll realize that there is a lot of French food that you'll learn. And in French food, you'll learn this particular dish, which is called brochette. जिसके अंदर there is a जैसे शाशलिक होता है एक skewer, उसके ऊपर कबाब लगा होता है, peppers या कोई vegetables, and it is just grilled over fire or onto a let's say tawa or hot plate. That is again a kebab which went from the Babylonian civilization and spread to the world. China के अंदर Ugyar community, अभी हाल फिलहाल they're in news, Ugyars, if I'm pronouncing the word right. Google that today and you will realize it's a small Muslim community in China which are known to do kebabs. और वो उसको कहते हैं Shuan, CHUAN, Shuan बोलते हैं. हम kebab बोलते हैं, Shuan बोलते हैं. So understand that this is the first civilization that started roasting kebab, and everybody has a different marination, but kebabs go way back. Imagine the first time that man discovered fire. He was already hunting, hunter and gatherers hote, they would hunt and eat. The day he discovered fire and put a stick of into a meat and roasted on fire, that was possibly the first ever kebab done by mankind. So it dates back to possibly cave time, or the time when we as Homo sapiens were living in caves. So the reason why I'm taking you back is to take you through a culinary journey of the kebab that we see today. For example, abhi aap chicken tikka order karo or a paneer tikka. I'm trying to trace back where it possibly started from. That invention of fire gave discovery of fire gave the invention of cooking food on fire. Whether it was potato thrown in fire, baked and cooked, or whether it was a meat piece, the entire rack or entire cut of meat or smaller pieces. And over a period of time, it all got refined. But kebab, did you know, comes from the word kababba. Now, kababba in Babylonian texts means charred या burnt. So a kebab is always cooked on live fire. It's a different story. अब हमारे पास fried kebab भी है. अब हमारे पास तवे के ऊपर हम टिक्की बना के भी सेकते हैं, वो भी कबाब है. But in older texts, किसी चीज को भूनना, उसे कबाबा करना, उसे चार करना, उसे बर्न करना या उसे कब करना, is called was always associated towards cooking of meats on fire. When civilization started, everybody was a meat eater. Over a period of time, most of us turned into vegetarians. Also, when जब बेबीलोनियन टेक्स्ट में ये भी लिखा है, जब प्रसाद बनता था या वहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा खाना बनता था जो गॉड्स को चढ़ाते थे, तो बोलते थे मेक श्योर इट्स नॉट कबाबा, मतलब इट्स नॉट बर्न्ड. The opposite of what a kebab should be. When I say burnt, charring marks is what I mean. Also, if you say kebab, is made up of two words. Ka-ab. Ab means water. Ka means without. Without water. That's why dry roasting of meats is a kebab. So over here, I'm trying to reinvent the wheel for you guys. अब तक आपका जो परसेप्शन था कि यार कबाब ऐसा होता है, तंदूरी चिकन है, मलाई टिक्का है, ये टिक्का है, वो टिक्का है, ऐसा है, वैसा है. आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेक दैट अवे. दैट इज वेरी रीसेंट. आप जितने कबाब आज अपने मेन्यू पे देखते हैं इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट्स में, वो 100 साल, 200 साल, 150 साल पुराना ही है. उससे पुराना शायद है भी नहीं. उससे पहले कई और तरीके के कबाब होते थे. सो you need to understand the meaning of kebab to arrive at modern avatar of kebab, and this level of understanding of kebab आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगी, आपको किसी टेक्स्ट बुक में नहीं मिलेगी. This is a lot of research that I have done so that you guys benefit. हमारे कॉलेज टाइम पे was a standard cookbook कि ये कबाब होता है, इसमें मैरिनेशन होता है, टक टक टक, without really delving into the history and origins of kebab. And kebab, which means roasting of meat, gave us the right energy at the time when we were living in caves and helped us develop a human brain of the size that we are today. We are standing and we are so intellectual, we have moved forward. It's the discovery of fire and cooking of food in that fire is the reason that we are so advanced. So it's an important part of our development, which is just simply a kebab. So moving on, there is an interesting, have you heard of this particular travel, Ibn Battuta? I'm sure you have. He's a Moroccan traveler who traveled the entire Southeast Asia. He traveled to India around 1335, in the century 1335. 1335 में वो आया था जब हिंदुस्तान में, especially in Delhi, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was ruling that the entire region of Delhi and surrounding areas. When he went, he mentioned in his book that on his travel to India, bazaars were filled with lots of shops selling kebab and roti. इसलिए बेशक आज के जमाने में हम मिर्च चटनी और प्याज खाते हैं. Remember, the right accompaniment to a kebab will always be a roti or a bread, any form of bread. चाहे वो खुपूस हो, चाहे वो खमीरी रोटी हो, चाहे वो नान हो, चाहे वो फुल्का हो, रुमाली हो. The traditional accompaniment to any kebab in India has always been a bread, right? Also, do you know the oldest surviving cookbook? If anybody knows, raise your hand and somebody will unmute you, I think, because I don't know on that fish market, and I know it's a difficult one. So Sameer says that he'll fix that. So anybody knows the oldest surviving cookbook in the world, and why I'm telling you this, वो भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा अभी. Anybody? Don't Google, huh? Okay, 3 people, I think they raised their hand. Now I don't know how to go about this. So Sameer, you can help me there. Okay, I think Harshdeep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Libre de Sensovi.
Sorry?
Libre de Sensovi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not.
No. No. It's not. Anybody else? I know this is a difficult one. Chalo. I'll give away. The oldest surviving cookbook is about 1,000 years old. 1,000 साल पहले लिखी गई थी, जो अब तक हमारे पास है. When I say हमारे पास, वो actually टर्की में इस वक्त. उसका नाम है किताब अल तबिक. Which किताब अल तबिक बुक का नाम है, जिसका लिटरल ट्रांसलेशन है बुक ऑफ डिशेस. और 1000 साल पहले इब्न सयार अल वरक इन्होंने लिखी थी. और ये अभी भी टर्की में हाया सोफिया जो प्लेस ऑफ वर्शिप है, वहां पर उन्होंने म्यूजियम में वो किताब को, ओरिजिनल वर्जन को अभी भी लिखा हुआ है. इफ यू वांट किताब अल तबिक, यू गूगल, यू विल स्टिल फाइंड इट. उसकी रेसिपीज एंड यू कैन आई थिंक बाय इट ऑनलाइन आल्सो, क्योंकि प्रिंट वर्जन है उसके जो मिलते हैं. 1000 साल पहले की किताब, और उसके अंदर बार बार कबाब का मेंशन है. So kebab at one point of time was a very important part of our diet, right? And it has traveled from 4,000 years old, where possibly more than 4, 5, 7,000 year old Mesopotamian civilization, वहां से लेके 1000 साल पहले तक किताब, and the versions that we eat today. Look, understand that when you say kebab or we talk about my session, I'm not here to give you recipes. What I'm trying to build in you from your first class in your first year is to get into a healthy habit of researching on food. As an accomplished hotelier, whether you are in the front office or you become a GM or a housekeeper or a chef, it is important to know all aspects of hotel, and food is one. That is what my forte is. So even if you want to levitate towards becoming a chef or not, you need to have the right knowledge and tools. So it is very important to not superficially just cook recipe after recipe. वो आपको बहुत मिल जाएंगी. You can go on my YouTube channel, you'll have 500 recipes, but that's not the point. The point is that you need to start researching. अगर आपका favorite food है बंगाल में है माछेर झोल, Google Marcher Roll or find out where it started, who started it. If you're somebody who is from Kolkata, if you're in the Kolkata campus and you are somebody who is not from Kolkata, you've come from another city, Google about Kolkata, history of Kolkata. किसने बनाया था? मुर्शिदाबाद था पहले, मुर्शिदाबाद से कोलकाता कैपिटल शिफ्ट हुई. क्यों शिफ्ट हुई, क्या रीजन था, कौन कौन से इन्फ्लुएंसेस थे, और उसके बैकड्रॉप पे you'll find a lot of food that will go. There are a lot of Turks, there were a lot of Afghans, there were a lot of Jews at one point in now Bengal. East or west को मिला के पूरे एरिया में, it used to be like the New York of the world. So New York को आज हम वो देते हैं ना तवज्जो. Bengal was the New York of the world at one point of time. It was the most important trading place and the trading route. And people over there living, especially the ones of those times, who were Indians, were very liberal, were very, very advanced, were very, very rich, by the way. So it's very important to understand the history and the backdrop, because if you have a certain amalgamation of different cultures, different people, English bhi the, Spanish bhi the, Dutch bhi the, Southeast Asians bhi the. Just imagine the kind of food that has influenced thousands of years that we eat today. That's why you see so much of resemblance of our coastal food when you go to Southeast Asia. You see a lot of, go to Thailand, वहाँ पे भी रामलीला होती है. You go to Singapore, you go to Indonesia, they're dressed like Indian gods. उनके वहाँ पे भी विष्णु भगवान, शिव भगवान, different names के साथ होंगे, लेकिन वही story होगी. So reason क्या है? Because there's a huge Indian impact on Southeast Asia, along with their culture. Culture never travels alone. People don't travel alone. They always travel with their food. So food has a lasting impact, and it's really important for us to research on food, especially Indian food, because today we are talking about Indian food. Indian food के ऊपर ना बहुत limited research है. And as first years with IHM Kolkata, I expect you to go out of your course and syllabus, because even IHM as an institute will is somebody who will encourage you to research and bring things back to college. Share it with your friends. And that's what IHM also stands for. It's not just pado, 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 pado. It's also about 360 learning of you, practical to the knowledge out there, out of your syllabus is what you also need to concentrate. And first years, you need to do that right now so that you inculcate the habit of researching on food and talking about it. Share it on social media, share it on Twitter, like Abdullah today mentioned in the beginning. All right, so going again forward with this. Yeah, now if you notice that kebab, like I mentioned, if you take a piece of meat, you grill it over fire, it is a kebab, plain and simple, especially when it's not, when it does not use any water. With Mesopotamia, with Islam as a religion coming in. Now, before I discuss religion, let me tell you, what we eat is also dependent upon a lot of things. One, what is available in and around. Then second is religion. Religion also defines what we eat. So if you are a Vaishnavi or a Jain or yeah, like a Jain, so they, as per Jainism, you can't eat certain foods like onion, garlic, ginger, anything that grows under the ground, anything that is a sprout, you can't eat. With, let's say, if you're a Muslim, then you know that halal is what you need to eat. Or you can't eat, let's say, a pork. Or if you're a Hindu, you can't eat non-veg, or you can't eat beef or any of those. So you understand that religion, to a large extent, defines what we have to eat, what we should eat. So with the spread of Islam, this entire spread of kebabs happened from the Mesopotamian civilization. So they went to Europe, they went to Asia and China, they came down to India. So the entire process of that spread of kebabs started from possibly from Mesopotamia and went on and on and on. And when it reached a certain place, whatever local ingredients were available, people started adding, and that's how the kebabs became very different. For example, you go to France, अब वो वैसे तो नहीं ना दही में मिर्ची पाउडर और धनिया पाउडर और गरम मसाला बना के अपने ब्रोशेते कबाब बना रहे हैं, वो ऐसा तो नहीं करते. Salt, pepper, olive oil, little garlic, some fresh herbs, and done. Why? Because that is what is available to them. वहां पर गरम मसाले वैसे उगते नहीं, मिलते नहीं, इस्तेमाल नहीं होते, उनका वेदर ऐसा नहीं है. Similarly, when it came to India, we started using spices. And then over a period of time, if I'm a vegetarian and I want to eat kebab, I don't eat meat, for whatever reason, I started making vegetarian kebabs. Whether it was gobi, whether it was aloo, whether it was paneer, whether it was sweet potato, whether it was kaddu, whether it was bhindi, whatever it was, I started making kebabs with it. I added my own set of spices. And from there, culturally, or your availability and your beliefs and your religion or your tradition defined the kebab or the food that we eat today, which we simply call as Indian food, right? So that's why you see there is a huge difference between North and the South, East and the West, because every place there is a certain availability, belief and style of cooking. कभी आप साउथ में जाते हो, वहां पर भी कबाब मिलते हैं, वो अलग तरीके से बनाते हैं, उनको वो कबाब नहीं बोलते. आप राजस्थान में जाओ, उसको बोलते हैं सूला या सूले बोलते हैं, right? And they use a lot of chili because राजस्थान के अंदर चिली की क्वालिटी बहुत अच्छी आती है. So and they eat spicy. तो मांस का सूला होता है, पनीर का सूला होता है, सब्ज का सूला होता है, तो अलग अलग तरीके के, मुर्ग का सूला होता है, so अलग अलग तरीके के कबाब्स बने. So there are a whole lot of things that define what we eat and how we eat. Now, fast forwarded to today's day and age, kebab has become something which is very innovative. Now, if I was to do a chicken cut kebab with cheese, like a French cheese stuffed in it and kato and it oozes out, that is acceptable. Also, from fire, we turn to different kebabs. Like somebody mentioned, a lot of you mentioned Lucknow. अगर कोई लखनऊ से है, उसको मालूम है देग के कबाब भी होते हैं, हांडी के कबाब भी होते हैं, लगन के कबाब भी होते हैं, डोरी पे भी कबाब चढ़ता है, परात पे भी या माही तवे पे भी कबाब बनते हैं. सो जहां डायरेक्ट हम कबाब पकाते थे फायर पे, वहां पर हमारे यूटेंसिल्स आना शुरू हो गए. माही तवा होता है एक लंबी बड़ी परात. अगर आप लखनऊ गए हैं, आपने टुंडे कबाब या गिलावट के कबाब उनका नाम सुना है, तो वो बनते हैं तवे के ऊपर. माही तवा थिक तवा होता है और उस पर बनते हैं, वो भी कबाब कहलाते हैं. कई ऐसे कबाब हैं जो अब हम डीप फ्राई करते हैं, उनको भी हम कबाब बोलते हैं. चिकन का मैरिनेशन किया, उसको फ्राई कर दिया और बोल दिया चिकन फ्राइड कबाब है. वहीं पर हम दम के कबाब होते हैं, जहां पर हम कबाब को मैरिनेट करते हैं, हांडी में डालते हैं और उसे दम पर पकाते हैं. नाउ दम की बात आई है, सो लेट मी जस्ट क्विकली डिविएट फ्रॉम कबाब एंड टॉक अबाउट दम. दम का मतलब होता है चोक करना. चोक करना मतलब टू चोक मतलब स्टीम को ट्रैप करना उसके हांडी के अंदर, उसे कहते हैं दम. प्लस दम कुकिंग के अंदर हांडी को हम सील तो करते हैं थाल से, उसको हम दो जगह से हीट करते हैं. नीचे जो आंच होती है प्लस जो थाल से जिससे हम ढकते हैं उसके ऊपर आंच होती है, दोनों तरफ से हीट बराबर जाती है और खाना पकता है. उसे कहते हैं दम कुकिंग, which is also a fantastic way of cooking. Possibly we in India invented it if it wasn't already existing somewhere else, but it's a brilliant way of cooking slow heat पे और खाना बहुत बढ़िया बनता है. उसी तरीके से उसमें कबाब भी बनते हैं. एंड over a period of now, with your the expectation from you guys when it comes to kebab is to keep the traditional kebabs on, where in your college or in your hotels or restaurants, wherever you go, learn the basic, but try innovating as much as possible. अब जैसे ब्रोकली है, ब्रोकली मलाई ब्रोकली इज बिकम अ नॉर्मल इन मेनी रेस्टोरेंट्स के ब्रोकली के कबाब वो तंदूर में मलाई मैरिनेशन लगा के वो करते हैं. एट वन पॉइंट आज से 5-7-8 साल पहले व्हेन आई वाज इन होटल्स, the first time somebody did malai broccoli will be like, what are you doing? वो English vegetable इतनी महंगी आती है, अभी इसको कर रहे हो. Doesn't make any sense. But over a period of time, the acceptance came in and people enjoyed kebab. There is a whole lot of innovation happening in, for example, if you go to, if you know Gagan Anand, who's a dear friend, who is also has a restaurant in Thailand. He's been rated as the #1 chef in Asia, world में #2, #3. He's done brilliant with Indian food. When I visited his restaurant, he had so much of traditional Indian spices and their way of cooking wrapped in a very modern avatar. So if I was to eat a kebab at his place, his restaurant, he'll possibly give me a macaroon. मैं बोलो ये तो macaroon है. Macaroon तो is like a nice sweet French macaroon. The moment you bite into it, it's all kebab flavor. So the expectation from you is very high that you as the new generation and आप ही में से कोई ना कोई will be the top chef of India in time to come. Possibly the expectation is to keep the Indian flavors alive, but give them a brand new perspective. Don't get stopped कि यार ये idea बेकार तो नहीं, will it fall, fail or not. The expectation from you is that you develop it as much as possible. Fail a lot of times so that everybody can learn from your failures. You can learn from your failures and develop and adapt and move ahead and keep this thing on with kebabs or Indian cuisine. It is, again, I'm reiterating, very important to document Indian food, research about Indian food, and the best, and to innovate with Indian food. Research, document, innovate. These are the three things. At the same time, with this current situation, which obviously by the time you guys will pass out, will pass off, but make or open, people who are interested with food and who want to, let's say, pursue Indian food, open a food channel today on your Instagram or on your Facebook or on your YouTube. What to put is what you learn in college. Start putting it. Go home, cook that, record it on a phone. Don't worry how the videos. Start putting it. You'll be surprised by the time you finish 1 year and 2 years of your college. कुछ याद करना होगा ना, references your straight away. You go to your Instagram, वहाँ पर वीडियो भी है, रेसिपी भी आपने डाली है. It becomes a reference point, and people will start following you. Your college itself has so many kids, so many of you who can start following each other. 500-600 तो आपको followers पहले दिन में ही मिल जाएंगे. And develop, because it's very important that you start a food page, simply because you never know if it grows really big. Your main source of income, your main job will be to research on Indian food and put it in on social media, and it'll pay you a lot. So it's not just becoming a great chef. It's also about sharing the knowledge that you gather over a period of time. Even if it's the first thing that you learn is how to hold a knife and chop onions, make a video, put it out there. Do it now. आप में से जितने मेरी बात आज सुन रहे हैं, and if they follow it, meet me after 3 years and tell me if it has worked wonders for you or not, even before you get a job. You will not be dependent on somebody giving you a job. Trust me on this one. Anyway, so this was a brief history on kebabs. I would now like to throw the questions on your side related to Indian food, Indian cuisine. You can ask about kebabs or general your doubts or your questions on Indian food, Indian cuisine or kebabs. I would want you guys to throw it at me as a question, and I'll try and answer them. Okay, so
So what we'll do, Chef, is that as the questions come in, we'll ask the questions to you. That'll just make it a little easy. So I think the first question that's come up, we've just opened the chat box. Students, you can ask your question there. I think the first question that's come up is from Sanchayan from Calcutta. He says, the food you produce, is it according to your taste? Because taste varies from person to person. How do you overcome this problem?
Okay. Understand, there cannot be one dish or one taste that pleases everybody. That never happens. What is good or what, because taste is a perception. In my house, we eat very spicy food and salty food. On the other hand, my neighbors, they eat basic salt and pepper and no spice. How do you bridge the gap? So over a period of time, let's say if you join kitchens, you understand the midway that this is the dish, this is the taste that most people enjoy. And understand there will still be, out of 10 people that you serve, not 10 on 10 will give you a thumbs up. It's very rare. There will be people who say, I don't like it like this, I eat it like this. मेरे घर पे ऐसे नहीं बनती, मैंने कहीं और better खाया हुआ है. All that is part and parcel of your job. It does not matter. What matters is what the masses in terms of, let's say out of 10, if 8 people are saying thumbs up, it's a good dish, it's okay. And over a period of time, you learn how to customize food for your guests, for your people.
Okay, Saurabh from Calcutta is asking, how did veg kebabs originate?
So, like I just mentioned in my lecture, Abhi, it started with non-vegetarian, and then our beliefs and availability changed what we started to eat. We were a hunter and gatherer. We became agrarian, which means we started tilling the land, farming, and growing crops, fruits, vegetables. The day that started, and we started consuming vegetables on a higher side than meat, we started roasting and grilling them as well. And because some of us turned vegetarians, the demand for vegetarian kebabs came. And that's why a lot of people started cooking vegetarian food at home. And subsequently, it started happening in hotels and restaurants. Chefs started focusing on vegetarian. They started innovating. Now, if you ask about paneer tikka, ya aloo ki tikki, ya veg shami kebab, actually you can go back and date यार फलाने year में start होगा, मतलब आज से 50, 60, 70 साल पहले, maybe 100 years, उससे ज़्यादा है, उससे पहले कुछ और होता होगा, which I'm also not aware. So your food habits, your style defines what you eat, and chefs step in and change the entire eating style of the world. अगर आज मैं कोई एक ऐसी इनोवेटिव या हेल्दी चीज बनाता हूँ जो सबको पसंद आती है, लोग उस पे शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं, then I've changed the shift, I've changed the focus of the world from what they were eating to what they're eating now. Also, one of the points which I missed out is that Rajasthan में एक जगह है, and I want you to guys to Google this after this session. Kalabanga. Kalabanga is an excavation site of the Harappan civilization, जो Indus Valley civilization थी पूरी, which spread right up till Haryana, parts of Rajasthan and a little bit of Maharashtra also. ये पूरी जो हरप्पन civilization थी, वहां पे excavate जब उन्होंने किया कालाबांगा में, which is in Rajasthan, जो excavation site है, they dug up the ground and they found tandoor over there. And this is about 4,000 years back. 4,000 साल पहले. हमारे पास कोई written record भी नहीं है 4,000 साल पहले का, by the way. We have just excavations और उससे हम कह सकते हैं हाँ यहाँ पे कुछ होता होगा, कुछ होता होगा. वहां पर they found tandoor in the ground. Also, they found bones of birds, which was the local chicken or the local fowl that was cooked in that tandoor. They also saw lumps of dough or clay, which was the bread. Obviously, it is fossilized, it is charred, but through their analysis and their team of scientists, they found out that ये bones जो बिल्कुल चार हो चुकी हैं, बिल्कुल almost कोयला बन चुका है. This is bone of a bird. This is a dough, piece of dough, which means 4,000 साल पहले कबाब और रोटी तंदूर में बनती थी in Indian subcontinent, which means that kebab actually is a piece of history that we just savor every day today. And तंदूर जो तब बना था और तंदूर जो आज भी हमें मार्केट में जिस तरीके मिलता है, not much has changed, by the way. तंदूर पहले ना जमीन में गड़ा होता था, अब हम लोगों ने वो क्या कहते हैं ड्रम में लगा के मोबाइल कर दिया है. Otherwise it was always dug inside the ground. वहां पे आग जलाते थे. एक कोने में there used to be an inlet of air जहाँ से हवा करते थे, और कोयला या फिर जो लकड़ी और भड़कती थी उसके अंदर रोटी और दाल या आपके कबाब वो सब पकते थे. आज भी बिल्कुल वैसे ही होता है. You look at a tandoor, do you see a switch or knob or a lid that or a door that opens? Tandoor is one of the oldest surviving equipments in Indian cuisine. It is a prized possession. It is something that is the reason that we could cook our food the way we cook now. So that was just a piece of history. Do research on excavations in Kalabanga and Farmana in Haryana. You will be surprised. In fact, Farmana में जो excavation sites है वहाँ तो ये भी मिला कि हिंदुस्तान में पहली करी जो बनी होगी वो कौन सी थी? Did you know the first recorded curry in India 4,500 years back is बैंगन की करी? Yes, बैंगन, तेल, possibly सरसों का तेल, नमक, अदरक और लहसुन, ये 5 चीजों से वो पहली करी बनी. So it's very interesting to research on Indian food. When we simply say Indian food, it's not about butter chicken and butter dosa or sambar and this. ये तो अब हमको दिख रहा है. I would want as culinary students to go back in history and try and track Indian food का progress. Unfortunately, वो 10 चीजें जो बन गई पहचान Indian food की world over. Indian food is much more advanced. अभी भी it's much more advanced. हमारा पूरा आयुर्वेदा के सिस्टम पे खाना बना हुआ था एक टाइम पे. क्या बॉडी टाइप को क्या खाना है, किस बॉडी टाइप को क्या देना है. रूट एंड फूड, सॉरी, मेडिसिन एंड फूड केम फ्रॉम द रूट ऑफ अ प्लांट और अ ट्री. मतलब वहीं से आपने आलू भी निकाला और उसी के रूट का वहीं से किसी प्लांट के रूट की दवाई भी बन रही है आपकी स्किन केयर के लिए भी, आपके अंदर की केयर के लिए, आपकी चोट के लिए भी, आपकी इम्यूनिटी के लिए भी. हल्दी इज एन एग्जाम्पल, you know. So it's a very interesting thing to research on Indian food. And fortunately, unfortunately, हमारा जितना भी curriculum बनता है world over for all hotel management starts with French food. It goes on to Indian and all, but it starts with French food because French is one of the only countries जिन्होंने अपना खाने को बड़े तरीके से डॉक्यूमेंट किया है. स्टेप बाय स्टेप एक बुक बनाई हुई है कि अगर आपने फ्रेंच फूड सीखना ना, सबसे पहले आप ये करो, फिर 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 ये करो. इंडियन फूड में ये कभी हुआ नहीं. एंड दैट्स माय अर्ज टू यू. start documenting about Indian food, Indian kitchen, Indian equipment. बहुत मजेदार होता है. All right.
Wonderful.
More questions?
We've got Sarah from Delhi asking your views about fusion of Indian food and Western food.
I think that's the way to go, yeah, Sarah. Because look at it, हम लोग शर्ट पैंट पहनते हैं, लेटेस्ट से लेटेस्ट जो ट्रेंड वेस्ट में चलता है उसको पहनते हैं. हम कोई अपना ट्रेडिशनल कुर्ता पजामा रोज पहन के और मीटिंग में तो नहीं जाते, राइट? We have adapted, we have changed our lifestyle, हमारा equipment, हमारी बोली, हमारा सब कुछ. खाना eventually has changed over a period of time, and खाना is something is, I always say food is like a living being or living thing. जैसे living beings हम evolve होते रहते हैं, वैसे हमारा खाना भी इन्वॉल्व होता है. अगर हम एप से हम या हम लोग होमो सेपियंस जो बने वो हम लोग हमारे पूर्वज जो अगर वो बंदर थे, एप थे, कुछ थे, हम इवॉल्व हो गए ना आज और इवॉल्व होते जा रहे. वैसे ही खाना भी हमारा इवॉल्व होता जा रहा है. डोंट बी एन ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन टू व्हाट इवॉल्वमेंट ऑफ फूड इज, बट ऑलवेज बी माइंडफुल. जो जिस नई चीज में इवॉल्व हो रहा है, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट थिंग, इज इट न्यूट्रिशियस और नॉट, period. Taste comes बाद में. It should be nutritious. It should help you develop your body. It should help you develop your skills. If you simply take Indian food and take loads and loads of just mayonnaise and cheese और ये डाल दो और बड़ा सुंदर और अच्छा बनता है, मतलब अच्छे good Indian slow cooked curry का आपने fast food बना दिया, that's not a positive progression of food. The positive progression of food starts from food being healthy and remaining healthy till the time you eat. And उसके बीच में add layers of drama, add layers of excitement. आप रेस्टोरेंट जाते हैं, the chef comes and reveals और वहां से बुफ करके कुछ निकलता है और कुछ धुआं निकल रहा है, कुछ. It's great excitement, do that, but make sure that it is also healthy and nutritious to eat. It should nourish you. खाना nourishment के लिए पहले, taste और entertainment के लिए बाद में. In that order.
Wonderful. All right, Disha Jaiswal is asking what according to you is better, the traditional way of cooking kebabs and the traditional taste, or the modern way of cooking and the modified taste?
Both. It is important to learn your classics. कि अगर तंदूरी चिकन है सो है, टिक्का है सो है, या सूला है सो है, या घी रोस्ट हम साउथ में कुछ बनाते हैं पैन में, it's also closer to what a kebab is. वो है. या बंगाल में भी कबाब मिलते हैं, right? और गुजरात में भी फारसान मिलते हैं, कबाब नहीं मिलते, फारसान होते हैं, उसको स्टैक्स बोलते हैं. बट all of that is very important. If you don't have a sound knowledge of your basics, it becomes a bit difficult to kind of validate your innovation sometimes. आप कुछ innovate कर रहे हो, on what ground? Sometimes you question yourself. Not necessarily true every time, but sometimes you question, okay, I've got inspired from this. कि मैं गुजराती खांडवी फ्लेवर्ड कोई कबाब बना रहा हूँ, vegetarian kebab. Now you have a base. It's easy for people to understand. They've eaten the khandvi. They know what Gujarati flavors. Uska kebab, really? I didn't know. Like tandoori momos बड़े popular हो गए. कहाँ Tibetan momos और कहाँ tandoori flavor? And yet everybody eats it, chaat masala dal ke sometimes. So that's also progression. Now, whether you like the progression or you think it's too basic and too desi, it doesn't excite you, it's up to you. But it's a progression. And people have accepted it more or less, right? So it could be as desi a progression, or it could be a very different zone. Like, why not a Chinese flavored Indian kebab? Why not? It has to click. It has to be nutritious. It has to excite you. So try it out. Why not? I mean, what's holding you back? Chinese is one cuisine, or Asian food is one cuisine which has a lot of umami. Extract that umami from an ingredient and put it in Indian kebab. It'll be more tasty. That's my thought.
Wonderful. Chef Saurabh from Calcutta is asking how to choose the spice that is needed in a dish. How do we choose the spices while making any dish?
So Saurabh, I'll give you this exercise to do. Think of a dish. And think of a dish which is an Indian dish, which uses spices for to coat you. Try and make it without spice. right? Just add salt. Make a small portion. Taste it. You will get an urge to put a certain spice. यार सबसे पहला चीज as Indians, you know what hit us is mirchi. You'll say चलो थोड़ी मिर्ची डालता हूँ. हाँ, add some mirchi and heat it up and then taste it. Whether it's a simple sabzi or a dal, you may be happy with what you've got. कि नमक और मिर्ची दो चीजें finish. Then you yourself will get the urge. यार रंग इसका ठीक है, थोड़ी हल्दी डालता हूँ. अच्छा, मैंने एक चुटकी डाली थी, मजा नहीं आया. ओहो, एक चम्मच ज्यादा हो गया. ओके, आधा चम्मच. ओके, यार खा लेता हूँ, मेरा ना आफ्टर टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा कोई. लेट मी ऐड सम गरम मसाला और लेट मी ऐड इलायची या सौंफ या काली मिर्च, जो भी आपके किचन में, घर की किचन में या होटल या आपके कॉलेज के किचन में सब स्पाइसेस हैं. स्टार्ट एडिंग वन बाय वन एंड कीप टेस्टिंग एंड यू विल कम टू अ पॉइंट कि हाँ यार इतने ये डाला था, यहाँ तक ठीक था, इसके बाद ना ओवर हो गया, तो सिर्फ वही स्पाइसेस जाने. So I'm saying when recipes are made, there are certain things that go, but don't be defined by what goes. You can change it. It's in your hands. Taste, change, bring about that change. And that's how you come to कि कौन सा spice डालना चाहिए. Also, spice plays a very important role along with the weather. If you are in, like I'm from Delhi, so Delhi में ठंड बहुत पड़ती है. You want to eat a lot of spices in winters. You just body की मांग है. It just feels nicer. Similarly, when you do a very spicy meal in summers, no, you want lighter. So the same dish that you are cooking with a lot of spices will change when it comes to a different weather. So it's your weather around you plays a lot of role in deciding the taste that you are likely to go with. So हर रेसिपी थोड़ी ट्वीक होती है, तभी सीजनल फूड होते हैं एंड ऑफ सीजन फूड होते हैं. So try this out, do this exercise, do it with a simple dal if that's easy for you, or do an aloo की सब्जी. The aloo is very neutral, तो जो भी डालेंगे उसका फ्लेवर आता है. Do it with aloo की सब्जी. Try this out.
Wonderful. All right, Abhirup Majumdar from Calcutta again is asking the history. How did kakori kebabs originate?
Okay, kakori kebab, for people who don't know what kakori kebabs are. Kakori kebab comes from a place in UP which is called Kakori. जगह का नाम काकोरी है. वहाँ का कबाब बहुत फेमस हुआ, इसलिए काकोरी कबाब became very famous. Kakori kebab basically is a minced mutton kebab which is tenderized by adding raw papaya paste. कच्चे पपीते का पेस्ट जब डालते मीट में, मीट एकदम टेंडर हो जाता, मलाई की तरह हो जाता, घुल जाता, आपको चबाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. काकोरी एंड गलौटी, दे आर वेरी सिमिलर. काकोरी चढ़ती है सीख पे, उसके अंदर थोड़े सेट ऑफ स्पाइसेस अलग होते हैं, थोड़ा प्रोसेस अलग होता है. गलौटी इट्स लाइक हाथ में लेते हैं, गोल टिक्की नहीं बनती गलौटी की, कभी भी हाथ में लेते हैं और आप तवे पे ऐसे फेंक दो, ऐसे फ्लैट हो जाती है. टिक्की की जो टेढ़ी मेढ़ी शेप ले लेती है, गलौटी उसको कहते हैं. ये दोनों गिलावट के कबाब हैं. गिलावट के कबाब मतलब जिसको गलाया गया है यूजिंग रॉ पपाया. जहां पर रॉ पपाया लखनऊ के अंदर या यूपी के अंदर इस्तेमाल होता है, राजस्थान के अंदर काचरी, एक छोटा सा ना क्यूकम्बर या मेलन फैमिली का एक स्पीशीज होती है, काचरी बोलते हैं, जिसकी ताजी सब्जी भी बनती है, उसे ड्राई करके कूट के उसका पाउडर भी बनता है. वो भी मीट को टेंडर करने के लिए इस्तेमाल होता है. स्पेशली कबाब वो डलता है मांस के सूले में राजस्थान में. और काकोरी की बात करी, काकोरी और गिलौटी का जो जेनेसिस है, मतलब वो ये दोनों कबाब कहाँ से निकले होंगे. एक और कबाब है जिसे कहते हैं मजलिसी कबाब. मजलिसी कबाब जो होता है वो लखनऊ में आपको जरूर मिलेगा. मजलिसी कबाब से बना गलौटी और काकोरी. So Google for Majlisi kebab. In fact, I have one of my episodes on kebabs. I'm so sorry, I've done so many shows, I'm forgetting the name of the show. The Royal Palette. Go on YouTube today, watch The Royal Palette kebab chapter या काकोरी लखनऊ का जो चैप्टर है, वहां पर आपको काकोरी कबाब, गलौटी कबाब और मजलिसी कबाब तीनों के बारे में मिलेगा. आपको हिस्ट्री ऑफ काकोरी, गलौटी और मजलिसी मिलेगी in a very interesting way. You should watch that. So I hope this answers your question.
Wonderful. All right, students, the Royal Palette is the name of the show which you need to see after this. We've got Shanpe asking if you can explain the origin and technique behind Dora Kebab.
Hi, Dora Kebab. You know why I say hi, Dora Kebab? It's very close to my heart. And early on in my career, I was very fortunate to learn Dora Kebab from a Hyderabadi chef. And I'll just share this story, which is a little off topic, but it still kind of binds us with Dora Kebab. I must be 23, 24, and I had worked with this brilliant chef, Chef Arif, and he used to make Dora Kebab. Trust me when I say, Abhi bhi, your best of Indian chefs, and this is no offense to anybody at all, and I'm not bragging. I'm just trying to put a thing forward. Okay, a lot of chefs don't understand Dora Kebab. They don't know how to do Dora Kebab. जो मेरा टाइम था आज से 20-22 साल पहले, it was very difficult to learn something from a chef because chefs ना बताते नहीं थे. You really had to please them and spend years and years to learn from them. So my good fortune कि मैंने डोरा कबाब शेफ से सीखा और उन्होंने मुझे बड़ी मुश्किल से लेकिन मैंने सिखा दिया क्योंकि मैंने बहुत लिटरली गालियां खाई लिटरली बट मैं लगा रहा कि मुझे सीखना है एंड एट 24-25 जब मैं इंटरव्यू देने आई स्टिल रिमेंबर ताज में गया वहां पे शेफ थे एक सीनियर शेफ और मैंने डोरा कबाब बनाया वहां के जितने शेफ थे मुझे देखते रह गए कि 24 साल का लड़के ने डोरा कबाब कैसे बना लिया हमारे तो बाल सफेद हो गए गिर भी गए और अभी भी हम लोग को पता नहीं कि प्रॉपर रेसिपी क्या है उसकी. So you understand that that's why I said hi Dora Kebab because that was my pride कि I could do Dora Kebab and you know a lot of people can't do. Again, I'm not trying to brag. उस वक्त I was a लड़का, so you know in लड़कपन में you kind of think that you know everything and you know you just feel good about it. So that's why I said Dora Kebab is very close to my heart. Now Dora Kebab, if you look at Hyderabadi cuisine is very opulent, very refined. जहाँ एक लंबे टाइम तक राज चला और जो वहां के जो नवाब थे और जो प्रिंसली स्टेट थी वो रिच थी तो दे वर पेट्रन्स ऑफ आर्ट तो खाने के अंदर भी ना आर्ट को लेकर आते थे. जैसे आज आप जाते हो एक डिश आपके पास आती है शेफ या वेटर आपको खोलता है क्लॉश और वहां से धुआं निकलता है ये वो होता है एक ड्रामा एक एंटरटेनमेंट आता है. उस जमाने में भी होता था लेकिन उस जमाने में हम लोग ऐसे धुएं नहीं करते थे. उस टाइम में रियल कला होती थी शेफ्स को बैठाया जाता था कि कम अप विद सम इनोवेशन एंड आई फील पर्सनली डोरा इज आल्सो एन इनोवेशन जहां पर एक तरीके से वो डोरा बांधा जाता है कबाब के ऊपर सरिये के ऊपर या छड़ी के ऊपर फिर उसको पकाया जाता है लाइव फायर के ऊपर. आप धागे को एक मोमबत्ती के ऊपर हल्का सा रखो बुफ करके जल जाएगा लेकिन जब वो कबाब पे जिस तरीके से बांधा जाता है वो जलता नहीं. सो दैट वाज द ट्रिक एंड व्हेन यू वुड सर्व द कबाब आप डोरी को सिर्फ खींचते हैं और कबाब अपने आप गिरता है प्लेट के ऊपर रिवील होता है. सो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ फिनेस एंड इंडियन फूड. अभी तो मैंने कबाब की बात नहीं करी रामपुर के और रामपुर के शेफों की बात नहीं करी. आप हैरान हो जाएंगे कि रामपुर के अंदर क्या बढ़िया बढ़िया तरीके के डिशेस और कबाब बनते थे जहाँ शेफों को जो मास्टर शेफ है ना नवाबों के टाइम पे मास्टर शेफ हुआ करता था जिसको ऑब्वियसली मास्टर शेफ नहीं करते थे बट इस फलाने नवाब उस नवाब के शेफ्स आए और वो आपस में भिड़ रहे हैं कि कौन क्या बना रहा है. घास का हलवा बनता था जो गार्डन की ग्रास है उसका हलवा बन रहा है. ये चावल की जो खीर बन रही है एक एक चावल के ऊपर आपने कार्विंग करी है फिर उसके चावल या बिरयानी या पुलाव बन रहा है. एक एक कण चावल के ऊपर आपने कुछ ना कुछ लिखा हुआ और फिर उसका चावल बना रहे हो आप बिरयानी बना रहे हो. इमेजिन द अमाउंट ऑफ वर्कमैनशिप दैट पीपल हैड जो हमारे हिंदुस्तान के खानसामाओं के पास उस वक्त था. It's mind-boggling to read about, and I'm a passionate Hindustani, and when it comes to food, you can see my passion. I will not stop at just anything. So that's where I would want you also to start respecting and researching Indian food. इतना कुछ मिलेगा आपको कि आप हैरान हो जाओगे. आपको बहुत गर्व होगा कि यार आप भी हिंदुस्तान में पैदा हुए. खाने को भी इतनी बारीकी आर्ट फॉर्म जो हम कहते हैं कि आर्ट है साइंस वो ऑलवेज से आर्ट था हिंदुस्तान के अंदर. So I hope that answers your question that Dora was the entire फ्लैम्बॉयंसी ऑफ शेफ्स कि हम डोरे पे कबाब बनाएंगे, डोरी नहीं चलेगी, और जब नवाब या किसी के आगे डोरा खींचेंगे, कबाब अपने आप प्लेट पे गिरता हुआ जाएगा. So that was the entire story.
Wonderful. All right, so time short, ladies and gentlemen. We've got just enough time to take one last question, which is a little interesting and a little technical as well, which Chef Kunal would answer now. Akarsh Singh from Hyderabad is asking, when I cook kebabs, it cooks well, but sometimes it gets chewy and not soft. What to do to make it better? Sir, please suggest some tips. Shafi.
Okay, so when you're talking about getting chewy, then I'm assuming that you are talking about meats, non-vegetarian. And this is a common problem that happens with meat. There are a couple of reasons. One, if your meat is not fresh, or rather your quality of meat. So sometimes what the meat you buy, whatever that chicken or lamb or whatever fish was fed on, if it's not nutritious, your meat will never be tasty or good to cook.
We can't hear you.
Hello,
Yes.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that another thing is how you cook it. So for example, if you are taking meat like mutton, especially Indian goat or Indian sheep, and trying to cook it in a pan, forget it. You will get a rubber. It's not going to happen. So there are certain tenderizers that you need to put. Like I mentioned, kachri from Rajasthan, or raw papaya is another. One of the things that we also make a mistake is when we are cooking kebabs on pan, we have this habit of pressing it. Remember, the more you press the kebab, the more moisture it will release, the dry it will become. You should leave it. Never press the kebab when you're putting it on a hot plate or a tawa. Also, the temperature of your plate, along with the size of your meat, goes a long, long way to decide whether it will be juicy or not. What happens is, if you take ठंडा तवा, ठंडे तवे पे फिर धीरे-धीरे मंद आंच पे उसको फिर डाल दिया, फिर गर्म हो रहा है, it'll lose all its moisture. कबाब हमेशा गर्मा गर्म तवे पे पकता है. मतलब एक तरफ डाला, गर्मा गर्म ब्राउन कलर हो गया, टर्न अराउंड ब्राउन कलर हो गया, अभी अंदर से कच्चा है. Reduce the heat. Take the kebab off. अभी वो कच्चा है, थोड़ा सा रेस्ट करने दो उसे, फिर वापस मंद आंच पे आप हल्के आंच पे तवे पे पकाओ, it'll be juicy. अगर इतना मोटा कबाब है आपका, इतना मोटा कट है, पकेगा नहीं. अगर इतना पतला है, बहुत जल्दी पक के ड्राई हो जाएगा. So the cut of the kebab is also very important. Then recipe में marination में आपने फैट डाला नहीं डाला, जैसे दही हम डालते हैं जब तंदूरी कुकिंग करते हैं, वो फैट का मॉइस्चर का काम करता है. वहीं पे ऑयल डाल सकते हैं, ऑलिव ऑयल या घी डाल सकते हैं. So एनिमल फैट भी यूज कर सकते हैं आप. So it really depends on multiple things. So जो आपका क्वेश्चन है ना, वो पर्टिकुलर अगर है कि ये पर्टिकुलर कबाब बनाते हुए ये मैरिनेशन के साथ ड्राई हो रहा है, then there could be a specific.
All right, Chef, this brings us to the end of this session. And before I end, I must say that this was very, very informative and our students absolutely loved every bit of it. Now, before we say bye, we've got our Director Jaipur Campus, Ms. Reena, to share a few words about the session and say hi to you as well. She just joined in. Over to you, Reena.
So good afternoon, Chef. It's truly been very, very inspiring to have you here. So many little inputs that you've given us. An hour before lunchtime, talking about all the kebabs, talking about, you know, the delicious food that comes out of an Indian kitchen has been really, really wonderful. You know, the way you spoke about how you need to research before you start cooking is one of the important things that I hope the children take back with them. The students need to know that, you know, they must know where the origin is, how it has evolved. These are the little tips that, you know, were wonderful for today's class with you. True fan, yes, I have followed a lot of your recipes of Pickle Nation. Okay, and I think I've spoken to you about this when you visit us in Pune when I was there. Yes, so the way you have managed to, you know, find out more about things, the way you researched it, if I think half of our students do that, they'll really come a long, long way. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your wonderful tips. Thank you for, you know, encouraging them to work hard and the way to work, the way forward for them. It's really, really been very nice. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. And once again, all the very best. It's a new start, not the traditional way of teaching, but I think this is lovely. This is also about change. You know, अभी हम बात कर रहे थे ना, should Kabaz change? हमारा बात करने का education का भी देखो कितनी जल्दी हमने change कर ले, evolve. खाना भी ऐसे evolve होता है, आपको भी evolve होना है. And it's a constant change and evolution is constant. You are first years. Please study hard and remember to enjoy a lot. This is your college. You're not in school. Learn to enjoy, have a great time, but be serious when it comes to your studies also, because this is also a time where it will decide what career or which path you'll go in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the session. You were listening to Chef Kunal Kapoor, who took this session on Introduction on Indian Cuisine, and he was talking about kebabs to start with, and of course, absolute information, lovely information that we got. Chef Kunal, it was lovely to have you. Dr. Boss did send his hi and love to you. He's in flight, as I said, you know, flying from Hyderabad to Calcutta. So he could not meet you personally on this session, but he did ask me to convey his love to you.
Thank you so much. Please do convey my regards to him as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, students, for logging in. Wish you a lovely day ahead, and make sure that you've noted all the points down by Chef, and practice this, go research. Some amazing information that even I got today was about the Bengal curry, which was the first recorded curry about 4,000 years ago, which I, to be honest, was not aware about. And as you say, that learning never stops, and you always learn when you attend these sessions. And absolutely about Farmana in Haryana, which is an excavation site, which I was also not aware. So thank you, Chef, to you for adding on information to our knowledge as well as our students. And I think these students are very lucky to study from you and to listen about the Indian cuisine from you. Thank you for logging in, and lovely to have you with us, Chef.